guys, this is Sam Oser. Good seeing you again. So I'm going to wait for the YouTube to do its thing and oh, hold on, I got a text. Oh, that's me going live. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sam Oser. I have an introduction video from yesterday, so when this is over, you can go see that introduction video and get to know me and my reporting down in Houston. Hi, Zachary. So today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about who is making money off ICE, and we're going to talk about former Obama officials cashing in on the revolving door and in Trump's world. So first and foremost, who is making money off ICE? So Jordan has this really cool program where he can put the text onto the screen and you can see it. And unfortunately, I don't have that program. I'm going to look into it and get it. So because I don't have that program, here is the link to this database I'm about to talk about. So who is making money off ICE? Reed Sludge has this amazing database where it's who's making money from ICE in your state. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there's this interactive map. And you can click on your city where you know you have a detention center, or maybe you may not even know if you have a detention center, and figure out who is making money. So because I'm in Houston, I'm going to start with that. While I'm going through Houston, I'll pick 3 states. So if you guys can tell me where you're from, I'll just tell me in the comments. I'll go through this little database and tell you who's making money where you're living. So we can make this fun and interactive. So let's see. Let's go into Houston. So in Houston, there is $526,058.38 of contracts in Houston. Westwind Computer Products, Phonoscope Inc., JTF Business Systems Inc., Go and Zales Inc., Davis Lloyd E. I was trying to research Davis Lloyd E to see what it is, but it's one of those, it looked like it was one of those companies that was so intertwined with other companies, I had a hard time finding information on them. Cowboy Streetlight Concealments LLC, Celebrity USA Corp., Blue Tech Inc., Benefit Planning Inc., Fashion Corporation, and 24/7 delivery service. 24/7 delivery service. Like, I mean, I guess it's to deliver the children to the detention center, right? So first one I see is Central Florida. So we're going to go into this link that I provided to you guys. And I'm going to look into Central Florida and we're going to see. And I'm also curious, like, I want you to tell me if any of these corporations sound familiar to you. So I'll just click on Melbourne. Wow. So Melbourne, there is a parent company that has a contract of $4 million, $4,851,391, and this is the Harris Corporation. So my Florida person that just commented, the Harris Corporation is making a lot of money in Melbourne, Florida. I hope that's Central Florida. It looked pretty Central Florida to me. So Barkersfield, CA. So before I look into Barkersfield, CA, this is really great, like this database, because we are starting to become more aware of corporations, and because of technology, we're starting to see like these databases that make it so accessible to figure out who's who. So after this video, I highly encourage you to go through and see which corporations are doing what. So Barkersfield, CA, I got distracted. Let's see. There's Blur, there's San Francisco, there's Sacramento, Reno. Aha, Bakersfield. So there's $71,675.48 of contracts in Bakersfield, California. Trinity Services Group, Inc., Konica Minolta Holdings, Inc., Country of Kern, and California Highway Patrolmen's Club. California Highway Patrolmen's Club. A patrolmen's club is profiting off ICE. Like, there has to be some sort of fuckery going on there. That is crazy. Tennessee. So it looks like there's two in Tennessee. There's Nashville and Knoxville. And I'm going to go with Nashville because they have over $12 million worth of contracts. And that's with the VF Corporation, Standard Parking Corporation, and Corrections Corporation of America. Oh my God. Corrections Corporation of America is profiting off ICE in Tennessee. So, if anyone is familiar with that corporation, they are arguably the biggest prison industrial complex profiteer in the U.S. They're the biggest lobbyists. They're the ones actively going for the drug war. So wow. Like, of course, I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised that this that they're also profiting off ICE, but I am. Wow. Wow. Okay, so let's see. Washington. We haven't done Washington yet. And that will be the last one before I start talking about how Obama officials are cashing in during the Trump era. So Washington, so we're going to do Tacoma, Washington, because there's over $32 million worth of contracts happening there. The GEO Group, Inc., and Lexmark International, Inc. So that is pretty ridiculous. So I am going to put the link to this database again in the comments for you. Boop. So that way you can go and access the database for yourself, because it's really easy to use. So, and as you can see, as like we went through those couple of states together, we can see that millions are being spent. And we're also seeing familiar names like the Correction Corporation of America. I mean, okay, but of course the Correction Corporation of America would be profiting off ICE. I mean, okay. All right. So, man, I'm just really blown away. So while we're talking about ICE, if you're paying attention to your local neighborhood, there might be some connections you might need to make. So here in Houston, 419 Hope Partners owns a building that is being rented out to Southwest Key programs. And Southwest Key programs are like the main ones doing immigration and child separation here in Texas. So, but the owner of 419 Hope Partners, okay, his name's David Denenberg. He was given money by Houston, by the mayor and city council. He was given $500,000 to use that building to house displaced Harvey victims. He never did that. So now that building looks like it's going to be used for this immigration center. And where's the money going? I'm not sure yet. I'm investigating that. But it's also important to note that this David Denenberg guy, the mayor of Houston appointed him to the East Downtown Management District. So whenever you're looking into your local ICE centers, it's always important to see how it connects to that and how how it connects to the Correction Corporation of America too. apparently. Reading through comments, nothing. Okay, so up next is former Obama officials are writing out the Trump years by cashing in. Oh my goodness. I mean, are we surprised though? Are we surprised that neoliberals are cashing in on Trump's presidency? Are we? Are we? No, we're not. So here is the link for that. Bloop. So let's talk about Obama's officials. So in reading this article, there's something well known as the revolving door. And the revolving door refers to the fact that after a presidency is done and the officials get wiped out with the new people, those officials use their connections to become lobbyists or use otherwise awful places to make a profit. So Lockheed Martin is in this article. In this HuffPost article, none of the officials named in this article would comment on the record. Okay, so that's really important to note. So they found these officials and none of them would comment on the record. So they know what they're doing is wrong. So these days, Johnson receives $290,000 a year to serve on the board of directors at Lockheed Martin, the largest American defense contractor and the world's biggest weapons manufacturer. And I'm going to tie this back to Texas real quick. When I went to the Texas Democratic Party, Lockheed Martin was a sponsor. And Lockheed Martin donates far more to Republicans than they do Democrats across the nation. They do. But they are sponsoring Democratic conventions. Anyway, so Lockheed Martin sells rockets, missiles, bombs, all that terrible stuff. So another official, Barnes, is also working with the defense contractor, earning upwards of $210,000 a year, serving on the board at Booz Allen Hamilton. So they are trying, apparently, to build an inclusive, multicultural democracy that provides opportunity, community, and security through community wealth building. So community wealth building is basically gentrification. And the company received $63 million in contracts to work with immigration and customs enforcement. So Obama officials that apparently supported DACA, but of course, remember, Obama is the deporter-in-chief. They are working with companies that are doing direct work with ICE. And here we go, we come back full circle. Uber. Uber's one of them. Former Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood joins Barnes on the Policy Advisory Board, and Obama's 2008 campaign manager, David Plouffe, however you say his name, a senior VP at the company. And there's a lot of issues with Uber. They were fined by the city of Chicago for illegally lobbying the city's mayor. Well, actually, no, David Plouffe was fined. While he was working for Uber, he was doing lobbying, which is illegal, so he was fined. Wow, like, who knew? Who knew? Let's see. And so I'm kind of just scrolling through the article right now, and it just really shouldn't be that much of a surprise that Obama officials are cashing in. And we have to remember this has happened before Obama officials too, right? So as we go through and we look in the past, we can see that every officials that have been replaced with the new presidency, are starting to profit off the next presidency. I don't know if you guys have been following. There's this Facebook page called The Swamp, and they've been doing a mini documentary series on what it's like to work for Congress, what it's like to be a congressman. And they heavily talk about the revolving door, and they also really talk about pay to play on committees. So, and the lobbyists will call them and say, hey, I noticed you haven't paid your dues. Or if you really want to be on the A committees, you need to have this much money. So this stuff is really important to just pay attention to. And as we saw between these two articles, there was a direct link with ICE. So we shouldn't be surprised. So let's see. I'm looking at the comments. Please hire someone who can read. Thank you, Jerry. You're so sweet. Okay. Yeah, no, I've seen Jerry around. Jerry's actually I'm not gonna call him my favorite, but he does the things, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. His comments doesn't stop this corruption from happening. People are profiting off each other's pain, and they're doing it across election cycles. So, again, that's the fact of the matter. So that's all I really have for now. So I will see you guys around. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Yes, and